Hello and welcome to episode 69 of my Working with Todoist series. In this episode, I want to show you how to simplify a complex project. So if you look at the screen at the moment, we have a large number of tasks in a project called Demo Complex Project. And I've just randomly put in a load of tasks that I would use if I was to prepare a group presentation to our, for example, potential customers and so on. But all these tasks here have all got like slightly different usages, if you like. So let's have a look at here. We've got sketch out ideas for presentation. Now this, for me, sorry, I should explain. What I usually do is I've got a random list here, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my context if necessary. So for example here, sketch out ideas for presentation. This is what I would call thinking. Now I'm not going to put dates in yet because I don't know when I'm going to start doing this. Discuss with Jim what content is required. That would be for Jim, so I haven't actually got a label called Jim, so I'm going to create Jim. Arrange meeting to do a run through. Now to be honest, that's going to be at the end, so I'm not going to add a label to that one. Design slide template. Well, that's a design label, so I can add that in now. Ask Jenny for images of new purple frog design. Again, that's going to be for Jenny, so I'm going to create a label for Jenny. I'm going to have to go through and edit all my labels when I finish this demo. Arrange meeting to discuss marketing plan. At this stage, I'm not sure when they're going to do that, so I'll just leave that one off for the moment. Create presentation file. Well, I'm not going to be able to do that until I've sketched out my ideas for presentation. So again, I'm not going to add a label to that just yet. Find out what tech support wants to add to presentation. Well, this is sketching out ideas, so I'm going to put at tech support. So I'm going to create a label for them. Confirm date and venue for presentation. I've got to talk to Jim about that, so I'm going to add Jim. Do final rehearsal. Again, that's not something I can do right now because I haven't created any presentation file. Record product videos. That's very important. So that one is going to be out and about. Anywhere. Sorry, I'm confusing my labels there. And talk to video producers about video content. Again, that's going to be at vid. I'm just going to call them vid, just to save time. Actually, that didn't work, so let's just delete that and create at vid. And then, why are we not? Oh, at video. So create video. There we are. Okay, done. So now I've got labels in for the ones that matter. Now, what I would normally do in a project like this, which is so complex with lots of random things, is I'm going to create some sub-projects. So what we do is we go to the project list and we add project below and indent it by clicking on that forward arrow. And I'm going to put things to add, which is a very, very important this is a very important label for me, and I'll explain to that in a moment. I'm going to create another project below that for next meeting. Okay, so when we go back into we have these subtasks here, but I don't want to go into that just yet. So sketching out ideas presentation, that's fine. Discuss with Jim. Well, this is for next meeting, so I'm going to add that to my for next meeting. Arrange meeting to do run through. Design sign to ask Jenny, so this is going to be for next meeting. Find out what tech support, so that's going to be next meeting. And talk to video producers, and that's going to go into for next meeting. Now, the reason I do this is because these are for meeting, and what you could do if you really wanted to, you could actually create what I would call a non-completable task. So we put in the asterisk, the star sign, sorry, space, always remember space, and I'm going to put Jim. Now, this is not necessarily important. I'm also going to put in the double exclamation mark because I want to highlight that. So add task. So now, oops. If you don't get your spaces right in this, it doesn't actually create the non. So you only have the space. There we go. So now that should be as it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this task underneath that as a indented task. That's the only one I want for Jim, and then we could add one for video producers. So now I wouldn't normally, I'm going to say this now, I would not normally do this because if you look at these tasks, I only actually have one for each one. But if I had like several to discuss with Jim, I would actually definitely create this. We got one for Jenny here, so I'm going to create a non-completable task. And Jenny, again, what the asterisk sign is doing is creating a bold effect. And I can drag this one down there underneath Jenny. And we've got one more to add, which is tech support. So tech support, and then add that task, and I'm going to drag that one down there. Now what I've done is I've indented these so that if I'm in a meeting I can have this window open. Let's say I'm in a meeting with Jim, I don't actually need to have the other projects open. So Jenny and video producers and tech support can be closed. Jim, discuss with Jim. Now what happens now is as I'm collecting tasks in my inbox, if it's something I want to discuss with Jim, I can just drag and drop that into Jim. If it's something to discuss with Jenny. So when we go back to our complex demo project, we've got the next meeting items in there, things to add. Now I've mentioned this before in a previous video, is if I need things that I really want to add to a task, these are just like random thoughts that I might have, I can just add them in a task and just drop them in there. Now, I would point out that I never add a label to things to add until that is definitely something I'm going to add. These could be maybe tasks, but this is all related to the same project. Now, the final thing I would do before leaving this project is I would actually organize these into some kind of order. The only reason I would do that is simply because it just makes it easy when I want to have a look. So arrange meeting to do, that's going to be down at the end. Confirm date is going to be, create presentation file, definitely going to be near there. Design the side template, that's going to be before that. Arrange meeting to discuss marketing plan, I think all these are going to come up. Arrange meeting to do run through, record video, these probably is going to be up there too. Again, these are just a rough idea of where I want to be. Now, the final thing I would do is sketching out ideas for presentation. It's got a thinking, and I'm actually going to put a date in that. So I'm going to put every day, let's say, because it's a very, very urgent project from tomorrow. So that's going to start off tomorrow. I wouldn't necessarily put in dates for anything else unless I really genuinely knew I was going to be talking to Jim, for example. So there we go. As I've been talking there, I just realized I've got another one for Jim. So again, I'm just going to drag that down here and I'm going to put it in there. That needs to be moved there. There we go. So I've got another one in to go into Jim. And the reason I've done this is because these people are involved in the presentation. And I really, really would like to be able to just quickly open up, and I've got my list of things that I would like to talk to about the various things. So that is how I would simplify a complex project. What I would do then is I can then have this open, and I've got all the main things that I need to be getting on with in some kind of basic order. It doesn't have to be in a big order because I know that I'm going to be referencing this probably on a daily basis. And once I've sketched out the ideas, I can then go in here and you can just go down to delete task, or move to history if you really want to, which I'm going to cover in another episode. And then I would move on to design slide template, blah, 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 blah. So that is how I would basically simplify a complex project. Remember, this is the way I would do it. You may have a different way, of course, and that's absolutely fine. But that is exactly how I would do it, because it just helps me to be able to see the wood from the trees, so to speak. Okay, I hope you found that episode useful. If you have any questions about Todoist or how to do something in Todoist, please leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to do a quick video for you on that particular question. And now it just remains for me to say, have a very, very productive week.